With SmackDown and Backlash back to back, Lyon won't sleep tonight. The crowd energy is so infectious, Lyon won't sleep tonight. Opens with Orton and Owens, Tama and Solo. Tangaloa shows up, God and WWE with Triple H heading the machine. What the hell is going on with the bloodline? And Bayley, Naomi, Tiffany in a three-way, oh my. Naomi takes the pin from Bayley. Tiffy will survive. Whoa, whoa. And Priest and Jey Uso with JD and Balor interfering. Damian says, oh no, you will not do that. What the hell? I could beat him all on my own. And then we get Bianca and Jade defeating the Kabuki Warriors, even though the ref fucked up the flow of the match. And Cody and AJ in a match that got the crowd all electric, with AJ breaking his hip, and he was part of the Fallen and I Can't Get Up community, and the Burning Hammer kicked out at one. It's not the most protected finish, that is a one-wing angel, but Cody retained and will go on to defend the title, continuing a different story, chapters to come. But Lyon was so energetic, and let's just get to it. I'm John Retton with my review of WWE Backlash France 2024. Did I screw up WWE? Absolutely, but you know what? I don't care. I'm so goddamn energetic because of that crowd. The cameras were fucking shaking. My God. Granted, it was a glorified house show, basically, but the crowd absolutely made it 1,000 fucking % better than it had any right to be. I'm not going to say it was a great show, and that's why I did the long intro. Thank you to a friend in San Antonio for suggesting that. They actually didn't suggest that, but because they made one reference, I was like, I can do it. And I can ruin one more song. Anyway, the LDLC Arena in Lyon, France. They love wine and cheese and a whole bunch of other stuff. And Jerry Lewis. They still love Jerry Lewis in France? This is a genuine question. To anybody that was at the show that happened to be watching this, one, thank you. I would think that you would have something better to do, but thank you very much. And also, you guys were great. Ding! So yeah, they had around 11,500 to 12,000 people, and they were very, very loud. It's also the biggest gate for any WWE arena show in history. Adjusted for inflation, maybe I think a few beat them, but whatever. So we see a video package on the pre-show of WWE shows from France in the 80s and all the way through to 2019, and even, I think, sometime last year, I believe. So Punk, Big E, and Jackie were on the pre-show. It's a good thing Punk and Big E were there. Look, Jackie tries. She tries. Punk was great on this. He wishes he could have been there. Honestly, this is going to be Punk's future a lot sooner than people want to admit, including myself. Punk is going to do some great shit. Being analytical, I think that's how the phrase goes. And they talk about international crowds in Chicago, and Byron and Kayla talk about the main event. Kayla, my God. Owens and Kayla go shopping for chocolates and coffee, and again, Kayla, my God. A package on Andre the Giant. Hello, lady. Oh, Andre. People say if only Andre was still around now. I said even if he could have gotten that stuff addressed, guys, he would be in his 70s. Like he would be 77 by this point, because he was 46 when he passed away. So, opening video package, huge pop. You know, for just, in general, just huge pop for, like, everything. Like, I mean, it's just massive. This crowd was insane. And I did see some clips of SmackDown. I didn't review SmackDown, due in large part to the fact that I worked. I got home, I was tired. I slept a little bit. I did check out some of the stuff while I was at work and before I went to sleep. And it was what it was. I also want to say before I get into any more of the review, with the announcement of the King of the Ring tournament matches for the men and the women, I will be watching this week's Raw. I was going to take an entire break for a month or so, and I'm not going to guarantee I can review every single Raw, because I got some other projects and I got some other things I want to do, but I will review this upcoming Raw because they sold me on enough of the matches. Also, the fact that Zoe is going to be part of the Queen of the Ring tournament and she remembers Marie Antoinette and also King Henry I. Let me save some of the jokes for later. Owens gets a massive pop and milks that. Milks that like it's a big old French cow. I don't know what the women in France did to deserve that. Hey-o. Orton milks it also. Milks his Viper right in front of everybody. You're welcome. So they sing Orton's theme, and Orton and Owens face off against Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa with Heyman. We want Roman chants. 14 minutes into the show, they jumpstart and the bell doesn't even ring, and officials are trying to separate them, and Alda says, go have a street fight. So they do. There were people that were very much into this. And I appreciate the crowd energy. In fact, the crowd energy is pretty much the only thing that I paid attention to in this because, look, Owens is willing to take insane bumps. Orton is going to be smart and not take a bunch of bumps. Tama Tonga hasn't heard a crowd this loud in a while. And yeah, the Japanese crowd is going to be a little bit more reserved, but it's about time that he got to display his skills on even bigger stage. Even though he did some great stuff in New Japan, they have been faltering for a while. I hate to say that because I love some of the talents there, but they've been making a lot of dumb decisions. They were talking about how this match is not going to be for the weak of Shart. I believe that's what it is. There were some Sharts in this match. Look, weapons being used just for the sake of extending a match's runtime instead of building the stuff it just doesn't work. I'm sorry. It's just, endless weapon usage for the sake of it. So, what is even happening? That was what somebody asked before all this came out and said have a street fight. So they go into the crowd. There's table bumps. There's, just bumps all over the goddamn place. It's all the same. Cole mentions New Japan talent like Shingo and Evil. And then RKO and Solo broke it up. RKO to Solo, the table doesn't break. And a brainbuster variation on all those chairs. Stupid, but whatever. And then suddenly Tonga Loa shows up. Camacho is back. That is a deep cut for wrestling fans. I'm surprised. I didn't know his contract was up. Good for him. That was a good surprise. And now we've got a new bloodline. By the way, also a Spike pins Owens. So there you go. This went about 20 minutes. Thereabouts. And new bloodline. And I think Jacob Fatu is going to end up joining Roman's side. Because I think we got one more person that's going to join Solo's bloodline. I mean, who knows? You could have Jacob Fatu as the insane one, but you almost need an insane person on the other side. And GOD reunited in WWE, all for it. Not that they broke up in New Japan. Don't give Tonga Loa singles matches. He had a match against Okada that actually made me question if wrestling was something I wanted to keep watching because it was terrible. So, big pops for all three women. It's Tiffy time. Boy, I wonder what that is in France. It's Tiffy time. Let's move on from that. Bayley and Naomi come down. Naomi gets a big old pop. They've adopted her as one of their own, I believe is what one tweet said, because they gave her a heroine's welcome. I'm not referring to the stuff that has taken so many lives. So, Women's Championship 3-way. Oh, my. Starts at around 10. By the way, these times are West Coast, because I'm on the West Coast. Hey, Bayley chants. And look, the crowd is into it, and they did some good stuff, but this also got a bit messy. It didn't get as messy as another match a little bit later. This is the second weirdest Oreo I've seen on the internet. You don't want to know about the first. Always delete your search history. So, yeah, usual three-way pair. Two people fight, one disappears. We got a couple handspring elbows, one outside, a blockbuster to the floor, because why not? And they did some good stuff. Tiffany did a couple of Alabama slams, both to, them on the announcers' tables. And then we got a sudden roll-up, 1, 2, 3. So it was about 13 and a half minutes thereabouts. It was what it was. It wasn't bad. Naomi took the pin, which surprised me. I thought they would have had Tiffany take the pin, because then you could build up the fact that Tiffany's like, okay, you think you can beat me in this? And then she wins the briefcase and displays her pink all over Fox, which is something that Fox would absolutely welcome. And there we are. So, after ending at 11:03 a.m., we then have Jay confronted by the bloodline, and Paul's looking at him like, please save me. I know I was just obeying the tribal chief, but please save me from these maniacs. Jay gets a big pop going through the crowd. We get all the flashlights and all the stuff and everything. Priest comes out to a decent reaction. I think the most muted reaction, out of anybody on the show. And that's no disrespect to Priest. Priest and Jey Uso had a secondary world title match that is about 15 minutes after the other match ended. We get to this, and look, the entrances and the reactions were a big part of this show. They love Jey. I'm going to be honest, this is the point where I kind of tuned out. Not Priest, I'm happy for him. I know people like Jey. To me, Jey is not a main eventer. I'm not saying that people that think he is are wrong. You can have your opinions if you want. But about 12 minutes later, after doing stuff, Balor runs in. He gets knocked down. A chokeslam for 2. JD puts Priest's foot on the rope to stop a splash from getting a 3 count. And then there's asshole chants and then a super chokeslam 1, 2, 3. Priest looks upset at Balor and JD. Dominic isn't there because he's injured, and hopefully Dominic recovers. And there you are. So, yeah, Priest is upset. QR code stuff, I believe, unless I was having a series of small strokes. And that's about it. Euro Tour footage, and then, yeah, the biggest gate for Lyon. Big entrance for, good old Jade. So Jade and Bianca had a match against the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi. And look, people can say that the referee screwed up some stuff, and I'm not saying he didn't. Because it was like, Kairi, you're not the legal person. What are you doing? That was like during the match. This is all about having Bianca do most of the bumping. Jade took a few bumps. She does take bumps, actually, guys. Believe it or not, people are like, oh, she's like Goldberg. Well, here's the difference, guys. Jade at least seems to be willing to learn. Goldberg just kind of ran over people. That being said, they did some stuff, and it was building up to the hot tag to Jade. Jade did what she needed to do. The problem is this match went twice as long as it needed to. I'm not saying cut the women's matches down, but when you have somebody that you need to get in, get out, while you teach them and while you build up to putting in some time, that's fine. That's why you have Bianca against Jade. I'm not saying that Jade hasn't worked hard, but good Lord. This fell off. This fell off hard. And the cool thing, it just got sloppy. People were lost. This went 17 minutes and it did not need to go more than 10. We got a really cool finish with Kairi getting hit with Jaded. That was fancy. You don't even know. They're not in the fast lane because they're not in Tokyo. They're in France. That screwed up those lyrics. And that's it. New tag champs. Again, right result. Just not something that needed to go as long as it did. And you could tell, bless Jade, she was lost. Because she hadn't been given enough proper training in the other company. And even so, in WWE being signed, you got to be in front of live people, and you can only do so much, when you're just being basically hung out there to dry. So far, crowd reactions are making the whole goddamn show. King of the Ring announcement in Jeddah. AJ gets a pop, Cody gets a bigger one with a sing-along. AJ and Cody had WWE Undisputed Championship match that was well wrestled. I'm not going to knock Cody here, even though I could. Because I stand by what I say. There are people that like Cody. They think that he's, going to be the guy. To me, he's just, But he's got the crowd on his side. He's got all the crowds on his side. So I can't debate it. I can't dispute it. They did good stuff. Referee Jessica Carr, first woman to referee a main event WWE Championship match on a pay-per-view, I believe is what they said in that flowery language. And the crowd was making the cameras shake. Multiple cameras, by the way. It's like Canadian Stampede. It was insane. AJ hit his hip. The I've fallen, I can't get up community. There's a back body drop. Cody got his back focused on. So they did a brainbuster on the floor. They did a brainbuster on the apron. Powerbomb on the announcer's table. The instant they did the burning hammer for one, or burning hammer variation, said Cody won with the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to be perfectly honest here, guys. Like, that kind of shit bothers me. It bothers me in other companies when they kick out at 1, New Japan, AEW, whatever. You don't need to be doing that. If if AJ had taken a while to kick out, like a number of seconds, and then Cody had kicked out at 2, okay, but no, kicking out at 1 on that. That being said, crowd reactions really fucking made. I don't know what the fuck they were saying. If you guys speak French, you can let me know what the hell they said in the comments. I don't understand. Great energy, though. Great energy. Had this been in a U.S. market, wouldn't have been nearly as memorable. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, though. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.